Welcome back to Chicago's Morning Answer. Amy Jacobson, Jim Uria. We are in for Dan Proft today. And a program note, you can always listen to Jeannie Ives and me Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to noon. And if you miss it, you can download the podcast because I know some people are at work and that's always an option. So, Jim, one of the first days that I was with Jeannie, there was breaking news. Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, had been abducted. She's an elderly woman. She has a heart condition. She has high blood pressure. She needs her medicine. And it was very chaotic. I couldn't understand the motive behind it. But now somebody has finally been arrested, but it may not be what you think. With more on this, let's welcome back to the program Paul Huebl, private investigator, former Chicago police officer, and Army veteran. Good morning, Mr. Huebl. How are you?
Good morning, Amy.
Good. So you kind of predicted this because those ransom notes that were being sent to TV stations and to TMZ, they weren't real?
No, they were just pretenders that were trying to profit from this crime. I mean, kidnapping for ransom is incredibly rare. It really doesn't happen that often. And, this had an odor to it. And then TMZ, all of a sudden, they're gaining all kinds of new viewers because they're spouting this theory. And it was stupid. I mean, this was obviously a burglary gone wrong killing, or an outright killing. This was not a ransom deal whatsoever.
Well, let's talk about the FBI did arrest a California man, Derek Anthony Kalela. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he was sending fake ransom notes to the Guthrie family demanding cryptocurrency in exchange for Nancy's safe return. Are other people, was he the only one sending these fake ransom letters? Or emails?
These cockroaches come out of the woodwork whenever there's an opportunity to profit from tragedy. So it's hard to say. There could be one, there could be many more.
Paul, so you said in your thesis that it's either a burglary gone bad or an outright killing. If an outright killing, is there any sort of motivation that you can see, or do you have any kind of working theory on that?
Yeah, greed and avarice. Somebody wanted money, couldn't get money. And I still say this is within the inner circle of Nancy Guthrie. Somebody close enough to know her, to know what her financial condition is, and that's where this thing usually comes from, statistically.
Yes, and you think there's zero chance that she's alive, right? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you think there's no chance that she's alive? Is that your opinion?
Absolutely zero. I mean, she was taken out of that home bleeding. The police investigation, particularly in the beginning, was a disaster. They put the least experienced officers on it, and everything went to hell.
Well, this porch guy, that's what they're calling him, the porch guy. They're saying, Page 6 in the New York Post is saying that an arrest is imminent, that he'll be arrested soon. I mean, if you know that person, because we all have distinct cadences and characteristics and body types. I mean, if that was my neighbor or my cousin or my sister or a husband, you would recognize that person right away. And I cannot believe it has taken this long for somebody to turn that person in.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, there's so many different variables in this thing, and the question is the person that was the porch guy, as you call him, was he a local, which would have made it much easier to identify him, or was he somebody that in the inner circle but didn't live in the vicinity and wasn't well known? It's pretty hard to say. And of course, that video was really lacking a lot of necessary information.
Is your opinion that if something's gone on this long, that the likelihood of it being solved efficiently is, it's that window's closed, in your opinion?
No, well, it's not completely closed. I mean, the law enforcement is zeroed in on a kind of troubled neighbor who has been involved in other activities, and they've seized his truck, or his SUV, and they've done a lot of investigation, and of course the theory from I'll call them the Guthrie watchers, is that they're going to make an arrest of that person or somebody with him in the near future. Well, that remains to be seen.
Well, and you talk about there's these YouTubers who hang out, Jim, in front of Nancy Guthrie's home. Yeah. It is the strangest thing because they know they could, whatever happens, they're going to get the most clicks. That's what they're searching for. It's just, crazy. It's such a different subculture.
Yeah, subculture is right.
Yeah. So where does it go from here? And where do you think, just hypothetically speaking, where do you think Nancy Guthrie's body may be?
Well, I think it's really simple, and nobody has really talked about it but me. Within a few miles of Nancy Guthrie's home are these abandoned mines. It was a mining area big time, and what happens is the mines are a popular place in that part of the state of Arizona where killers throw their victims. And it's almost impossible in some of these situations to try to recover human remains from these mines because of the gases, the danger, the fact that they're collapsing. And, if, for example, you throw a heavy body down one of these mine shafts, then it completely gets covered up by debris that falls afterwards. So to suggest that they haven't used the most convenient place to get rid of a body, how could they ignore that? I just don't understand. And the other thing is that, a human body, when it starts to decompose, really puts off some nasty odors, and they're easily found because of that. And so the mines are really, you got to be brain dead not to think that the mines are a place to throw that kind of a body away.
Do you think she would have been abducted had she not been the mother of Savannah Guthrie?
Yeah, I don't know that it's related, but you remember, this is if it is like I believe an inside family job, it's because she is who she is. But I don't think she was specifically targeted by anybody. For example, a better person to burglarize. I mean, in that area, you have a lot of very wealthy people with a lot of wealthy, property that could be stolen. So I really don't think she was, it's either an inside job or an opportunist situation.
All right, before we let you go. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Finish what you were going to say.
Yeah. For example, like a delivery boy that's been delivering things, I call him a delivery boy, delivery adult, bringing material over there, and maybe say, oh, this is a good place to victimize.
Makes sense.
So who knows?
Okay. Before we let you go, since you are an Army veteran, how do you feel about testing troops for testosterone levels when they're 30 and over?
Well, I think I think that there's a lot of missing testosterone in our society these days. I think we need more, not less.
Okay. All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Paul Huebl, private investigator, former Chicago police officer. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll stay in touch.
Love you, Amy. Bye.
Love you too. Hey.
Bye.
Jim, do you love me too?
I love you too. But I have a question. Yes. Are they testing for too much testosterone or too little? Do they want
too little?
So they want people with high testosterone finally?
Yes.
Okay,
because
good.
they're more of manly men. If it's you're 30 and over,
Yeah.
PTXS came out yesterday, and if you do need testosterone replacement, the Army will pay for it.
Oh, that's fascinating.
But
'Cause
they didn't tell us what would happen if you refused.
Yeah, well, actually, there's ways to build testosterone too. That's one of the reasons I do the ice baths. That it
here we
works.
go.
So again, it's been 2 hours since I've talked about ice baths. That's usually as far as I can go.
Oh, your ice bath. So you're telling me ice baths help improve testosterone
Supposedly, if you do a ice bath and then you work out afterwards, supposedly it improves testosterone levels. I've not tested any of this at all. But I mean, I do it all the time, but I've not tested my testosterone. But again, I'm over 30, as you probably know.
All right. Thank you so much. And Paul Huebl, by the way, joined us on our Alpha Wealth Group answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat.